Hey there.
Hi.
How are you? Okay, hold on one second. I am getting a crazy echo. I think it's only on my end, but let's see what's going on.
Hope it's
Oh
not
boy.
the mic. This is my first time trying it out, so
Well, welcome. So excited to have you.
same,
Let's
same.
see. Okay, that made it go away. So hopefully, if you guys are watching on LinkedIn, let me know if you can hear my audio. Because I just want to make sure this is all working correctly. And I'm using StreamYard today, which sometimes can be a little crazy with the audio situation, but hopefully that is not the case. So if you can hear me, let me know. That would be
Tim says
awesome.
everything sounds good.
Cool. Thank you, Tim. You are doing God's work. All right. So super excited to be exploring video prospecting with you today.
Mhm.
So, for anyone who is logging in, by the way, drop in the chat where in the world you are tuning in from. We would love to know. And as we're talking, if any questions come to mind about video prospecting or anything that you want to share, drop it in the comments or in the chat if you're on AirMeet. We would love to hear from you. Oh, Beth is from South Florida. I'm from
There we
there.
go.
I live in North Carolina now, but that's super cool.
Okay, you're not
Tyler,
far from
actually,
me then.
oh, nice. Okay, I was just about to ask where you were based.
I'm from Myrtle Beach in South Carolina.
Oh, cool.
Hmm.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, not too far at all. That's super
We
cool.
got someone
I'll
from
have to
Ireland. Okay.
Yeah. Milwaukee also. California. That's awesome. Alrighty. So, for anyone who is joining today, if you don't know about RevGenius, that is where I'm the community manager. So, we do basically free events, and we have a free community of 35,000 tech professionals and revenue operations, sales, marketing, all of that. So, if you are interested in joining, go to revgenius.com. Tyler, would love to hear a little bit more about you, what you're doing over at Falcon, and why you're talking to us about video prospecting today.
Yeah, so I'm now the head of content at Falcon. So just about 3 weeks ago, I was just a BDR making cold calls, just like the rest of you guys, and of course doing video prospecting. So it's been a pretty big jump so far. Close to marketing. I'm having a ton of fun. I'm getting to use that video creativity that I've been doing my outreach, and now I get to do it on the marketing side and handle all the socials. So it's definitely been a great experience so far. Um, definitely love being at Falcon. I definitely learned a ton working under Mona, working under Adam. Sad he can't be here today, for sure, but yeah, it's definitely a great experience. I'm definitely excited to be here today.
That's awesome. I'm curious, like, how are you feeling about the transition, like, from SDR to doing something more content? Like, I know you were already sending out a ton of videos and everything, like, as part of your prospecting. Like, do you feel like the roles are that different? Like, just talk to us a little bit about that.
I feel like when I was a SDR, I feel like I was always like a marketer in
Yeah.
disguise. So in a sense, I feel like I'm doing the exact same thing, except I'm just doing it like for Falcon. Like I'm actually doing it for the brand rather than just myself. So
Mhm.
it's pretty fun. Like now I actually get to do what I love to do, and I'm not, I don't have to worry about booking meetings or making sure
Yeah.
deals get closed. All I have to do is just draw attention, like what I love doing best, and really just having a chance to just be creative and just have fun while doing it.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest thing when I was a BDR, like just trying to have fun while doing it. Like
Yeah.
being a BDR is probably the toughest job out there. So just being able to have fun while doing it, it makes the job so much easier.
For sure. I love that you said that. There is a lot of pressure to like book meetings. It still can be a very fun role, but I think like finding that balance can be pretty difficult. I know for me in an SDR role, kind of it was very similar to what you mentioned, like kind of feeling like you're a marketer already because of like how much time that you spend like crafting messaging and making these videos and really like getting very specific with your outreach. So I do just kind of want to dive in first to like why video prospecting is important. Especially when like someone may be more comfortable making calls or sending out emails. Like What results have you seen from video prospecting, and why should people give it more of a go?
Yeah, so it's super powerful. I think the best thing about it is the fact that you really can tell a story. Like when you're on a cold call, of course you can tell someone through your voice. You can make them like the full visual of the actual impact that you're trying to sell. So I feel like the beauty of video, you can actually evoke those emotions and you can really walk them through the entire story. Like you can show them what your problem is and how I'm looking to solve it. And you can actually show them rather than just telling them over a cold call.
Mm,
And it's not really hard to do. The same way you structure a cold call, the same way you maneuver through through objections, is the same way you can handle a video script. It's just you just have to maybe not sound so robotic, maybe casual, laid back, have some fun with it, and not take it so serious. I feel like some people overthink it sometimes. In reality, it's just like laid back, having fun, and show them that you're an actual person, that you're having a chance to work with, versus
mm,
being over the phone. They have no idea. Like, you're a complete stranger. I don't know you. I'm not buying this.
yeah,
But over the video, you can actually see the person. You can see that they're a human. They have a personality. They like to smile. Like I smile in every video. So I feel like they can really get the full experience of what you're trying to sell.
for sure. Okay, it looks like on LinkedIn, some people are still hearing an echo on my side. So I did something else to the audio. So if you guys could let me know again, if that's still echoing, that would be awesome. I'm hoping that that is solved now. Alrighty. So in terms of, all right, obviously video prospecting is a really great way to like actually get more in front of prospects, get a little bit more of their attention. What are you actually using to send out videos? Like, is that something that's expensive? Does your company pay for it? Like, just kind of walk us through what kinds of tools you're using.
Yeah, so I use VidYards to actually send the videos. As far as the video creation, I do everything in Canva or CapCut. So typically, I'll just record the videos on my phone, just
Mhm.
record the clips, and then once I record those clips, I'll send it over to my MacBook, make every edit, make all the edits on Canva, which is super beginner friendly. Some people
Mhm.
don't even think that Canva can edit videos. I've got that question like all
Yeah.
the time. And CapCut is pretty easy to use too, but I think it's a little more difficult than Canva. Um,
Oh, Tyler, I think your headphones might be cutting out a little bit. I'm
let
not
me get this
sure
one.
if it's the headphones or on my
Yeah,
side.
we'll keep going.
A little crazy with the audio today, but it's okay.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. But
Um,
yeah, so
yeah,
I
Tim
think
just asked paid tier of Canva. Is that what you're using?
yeah, so we do have a team account that we use currently, but I believe if you have your free account, I think you still can have like the same
Mm,
functionalities. But there are like some editing features that you can't use that you don't necessarily need, just to send like a prospecting video, just because like you don't need to do like too much of like like production just to send like a prospecting video. Of course, like you can have fun with it, like I do sometimes, but you don't need all of those functionalities just to tell a
mm,
story.
nice. Awesome. Alrighty. So I guess so once someone already has like a tool in place, can you kind of walk us through like the formula that you use for video prospecting? Oh, actually, hold on. We just got a question in the chat, which is what exactly is video prospecting, which is probably where we should have started. Thank you, Ro, for asking that. Let's start there, and then we'll get into the formulas.
Yeah, so video prospecting is literally just using video outreach to tell a story and just sell your product. The same way you send emails and cold calls, the same way you put it in video. Like when you hop on a cold call, you tell them why you're calling and you tell them the problem that you're looking to solve, and you do that same thing literally in video. Except now you have the chance to actually tell them the story. So like let's say you're hopping on a video and you say like I saw that you're doing this and I'm
Mhm,
reaching out because I solved this. And then on that last piece, you can actually tell them, you can actually show the story of like how like you can help them solve it. Versus on a cold call where it's like, yeah, like everything sounds good, but like they can't actually see like the product in live in action. So you actually have a chance to show them like the actual product live in action, tell them a story, and then you can actually personalize it and actually evoke emotions from maybe like showing some research of like showing like the reps they have at their company, maybe someone they know, maybe referencing like a post they posted on LinkedIn, and that way you can actually show them rather than just telling them. Because anybody can hop on a cold call and say like, well, I saw that you go to this school, and I saw that you just posted this, but you're not actually showing them that you did the research. So the
Yeah,
video prospecting actually helps to show like, hey, I did the research. Like this is why I'm here to help, and hopefully this is interesting.
for sure. So what you did kind of cover already, like the different kinds of videos that you're sending out, but when you're actually like looking at your prospects and you're trying to figure out like, okay, which contact do I reach out to? Why am I reaching out to them? Like, what are you looking for? And then how are you deciding on what kind of video to send out?
Yeah, so at Falcon, like we have different use cases. So typically, I do it by persona. So
Mm,
like we go after CROs, VPs, directors of sales development, and each of them have like their own use case. So I have like a video template for each individual person. So what I do is like I have like a 30-second snippet on the back end, for the actual demo piece of how I solved their problem specifically, and then
mm,
I'll go on their LinkedIn. And if they're very active on LinkedIn, typically it's pretty easy to find some research. Like if they just hired a new rep and they shouted that rep out, or if they're growing, or they just uploaded like a new product feature or something. Just giving you something to reference so you can personalize that video. It makes it a bit easier. But of course, you have some folk who don't use LinkedIn at all. You go on their feed; it's pretty dry, not much to pull from.
mm,
So at that point, then I go like on the company level, go on LinkedIn Insights, see if the company is growing, see if they're hiring, see if they have like a change in leadership, and then I reference those stats, and then that's how I tie that information into my videos.
mm,
Um, and then typically I do go after non-decision makers as well, just in case like I
mm.
want like some brand awareness. But typically when I send them a video, they're not as personalized. They're pretty just like templated
Yeah,
and just like problem based. And I just kind of dump them in that bucket depending on like what their problem is, or um, what I found like on the company insights page.
got it. So in terms of like personalizing the video, obviously, a lot of the same things from cold calling kind of does apply. Like, why do they need your product? Like talking about pain points and everything. But what are you doing, or are you leveraging this at all? I've seen a lot of posts where people like hold up a little sign with someone's name on it, or they like personalize the thumbnail. Like, have you found those things to be important? Like, what are you doing around that?
Yeah, so that's actually like the most important thing. Um,
Mm,
Really just having like a thumbnail that's very appealing. So something that I do, something that Ryan Scalera showed me, use a thumbnail that had not just your face on it, not just your logo, but actually put the prospect's face on it. Because if they see their face on it, they're more than likely to click on it.
mm,
And then typically, like I make mine pretty funny. Like I have like me standing there, I'm pointing at like a Falcon symbol or a LinkedIn symbol, and then I'll have their face over here. So of course it looks pretty engaging.
yeah,
But for the biggest thing to really get them on that video is the permission slap, and I think that's probably like the most powerful. Because once you actually get that permission to actually to send the video, they're more likely to click on it.
got it. Courtney asked a question. They said, I'm curious if you've experimented with personalized intros and then edit with a templated video past that point.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I
Hmm.
mean. So I have like different templates. So I just have
Mhm.
like I have a video outfit that I put on every day. Um,
Oh, okay.
If you guys notice, like the video I sent to Kevin Dorsey, I literally just had like my sweatshirt that I always put on for a video, and then I just edited like that first 20 seconds, and I attached it
Mhm.
to the back end. So I always make sure like my hair is the exact same. I'm sitting in the exact same spot.
That's
So
smart.
when I make that cut, I may have to do like a couple of edits, and
Yeah.
then it attaches straight to it. You can't even tell. But I always try to like the first 20 seconds when I personalize it, I always try to end that 20 seconds so it ties straight into the next 30 seconds. So you
Mm,
would never know it's a template.
yeah. That is amazing. I am just going to share the post that you shared with me um, with the video that you sent to Kevin. I just want to share that in the chat. Dia said, can you please share examples? So I'm just going to link that there. Um, Tim said my hair is never the same. Same Tim, honestly, it's a struggle. Alrighty, so I do want to make sure that we answered this question, which is what is the best video prospecting tool? I know that you kind of mentioned that, like, right now you're using Canva. Are there other options? Like, do you have an opinion on which one is your favorite, or, any insight there?
I kind of use a mix of both, but I definitely love using Canva the most
Mm,
just because it's super beginner friendly. The only downside to Canva is the fact that like when you record like over a minute, it takes forever to download versus
mm,
Canva where it downloads instantly.
got it.
So it's kind of up to you depending on like what you want to use. And then some things that kind of like help you do the video scripting and recording. I have a
Mm,
teleprompter app on my phone,
mm,
which I actually just started using like 2 weeks ago. It's been a game changer
mm.
because I'm a perfectionist, so like it takes me forever to
Same.
get
I
good.
have to re-record a video like 80 times.
Yeah, so the teleprompter helps. Like now I can get it down in maybe like 3 takes. Like the first time
Mm,
is always like that rough take. Second time is
yeah,
like it could be better. And then like the third time when like you actually start to memorize the script a bit,
yeah.
now it becomes so easy. So the teleprompter is definitely like a game changer.
That's awesome. How do you feel about tools like Vidyard? Like, I know that that's the one that I've used the most. Like, are you kind of okay? I was curious if you were like opting for Canva so that way you can use templates easier. I've never tried to use pre-recorded videos with anything like Vidyard, so I'm
Yeah,
not
I
sure if
think
you can even do that.
with Vidjar, you only can record.
Yeah,
The only downside with Vidyard is just like the quality of like my camera. So like my
mm,
laptop quality isn't the best. So like when I do record, it
yeah,
looks kind of dusty. And then of course like you only can see me like in the bottom left corner, so you barely can even tell like who I am.
mm, true.
Versus like the phone quality where it's like I really pop out on the screen and you really can see who I am, and I can take out the background, I can show myself like actually showing you the
Mm,
demo and walking you through it. So it's a lot more engaging. Like to get
yeah,
someone to watch a video for like 50 seconds, like it has to be engaging. You have to have pop-ups popping up, maybe some subtitles, different backgrounds just to like switch it up. But if you're just like sitting there talking the whole time on their LinkedIn page or their website, like I don't want to watch that. Like,
yeah.
it's not engaging. You have to keep them engaged the whole time.
For sure. I love how creative you've gotten with these videos. It's so cool to see. Because I know like when I first started sending out videos, I mean, one, they were like way too long. I was sending out like videos that were like 2 minutes long. No one's gonna watch that. But also like it was just me like in my apartment on Vidyard. Like it wasn't visually very engaging or anything. But that was also like I didn't really know very much about video at the time. So it's like to know that using things like Canva and like incorporating all of these other elements is like not only like possible but actually like is worth the time, and everything that it takes to like put into making a good video like make sense is really cool.
Yeah.
um
And the
I'm
thing is,
learning
like
so much
when I
today.
first started, I sucked. Like when it came to like the research piece, like I sucked. So like Ryan Scalera definitely gave me like a lot of help as far as the research. But
Hmm.
even then, like when I first started doing videos, like I didn't have like the best personalization or like the best research to
Hmm.
put into the video. But like just because it was so engaging and it was like I guess like a bit humorous too, like people were still interested in it and they
Yeah.
watched the whole video. So even if like you don't have like the best research and you feel like your script isn't the best, if you at least have fun with it and show that you have a
Hmm.
personality, that person will still acknowledge it. They'll at least respond to it. Like they might not book a meeting, but they'll at least respond, give you some feedback to take back to the
Yeah.
drawing board. And who knows, they might still book the meeting just because you actually tried your best. And not too many people are doing videos and they actually took the
Hmm.
time to watch it. So it must be something that grabbed their attention.
Yeah, that was actually something that I did want to touch on, which is that like how many people are doing videos, because I think that it has become a lot bigger of a talking point like around prospecting. But what are you noticing, like how many videos are prospects actually getting?
Um, I'm not completely sure. So typically I only send like maybe 10 videos a day.
Hmm.
And the permission slap takes a big load off of it. So like
Hmm.
before, like when I would send videos, I would send 5, 10 a day, and I would get no results at all. Like I wouldn't get an
Mm.
open, they wouldn't watch it. And it was pretty discouraging. Like I was even ready to quit myself. And even
Yeah,
from there, it's like I can see why people give up on video outreach so fast
for sure.
because when you spend hours on videos and you don't get any results, it's so easy to be like, man, f this. I'm about to go cold call some more. I'm about to
Yeah.
get some. Let's get it cracking elsewhere. But the permission slaps have been like a great help. So to go into the permission slap a bit
Mhm.
more,
I have like a 4 step social cadence. So when I sit first, I send the initial connection request, and then I might wait like 2 days to actually message them, because when you send a connection request, like they know the pitch is coming. Like as a sales leader, like you know it's coming, but of course, like you just want to wait like 2 days, give them some time to breathe, and then
Mm,
like literally just ask them like, hey, do you mind if I share a short video on how to your topic? And then they can
mm,
either respond or they don't. And if I send, let's say I send 15 in one day, I might get 4 responses. Like 3 might say yes and 1 might say no. And then now I got those 3 people that say yes. Now I can go take the next 20 to 30 minutes, use my template, make them a video, and now I can get it to them as soon as possible.
got
But
it.
then, but even then, with that first step, like the follow up is even more important. So like that second step, maybe wait like 2 more days and then say like, hey, like I just wanted to bump this up, and in case you missed it, mind if I still share? Now you got
Mhm,
2 more yeses. Now you got 2 more videos to go make. And then the third step is usually like I send an asset. Maybe I'll send like a screenshot of our platform, or
mhm,
maybe like the past 3 weeks, I will just send them the video that I sent to KD as like a reference. Like this is what I was gonna send you.
yeah.
I would love to still have the opportunity to make your own personal video. And then that fourth step is just asking like, hey, like I saw that you haven't opened any of the messages. Like, can we still be friends? And then
So,
boom.
how are you actually like managing all of this? Like, are you using something like SalesLoft? Are you like adding these video steps within like a more typical cadence that like also has calls and emails? Talk to us about that.
So I actually have it. I actually take it kind of old school. So I have an Excel sheet. It's like a social cadence.
Mm,
So I have like their names, the links to their LinkedIn, and then I have the steps, and then I label the dates that I reached out to them. um,
mm,
and then that way I can keep track of like who I reached out to. It is pretty manual, but the only bad thing with outreach in Sales Loft, like you can like click that you did the task, but then
mhm.
you can't really tell like what the task is. So
Yeah,
it's better to track like an Excel sheet, because I can know exactly like what I sent them, and then like I can know what to send them next and keep track of it.
for sure.
Mhm.
Definitely makes sense.
Mhm.
Alrighty. So we did get a few more questions, so I want to make sure we can get to these. James said, "How do you get past the spam filter? I found sending videos gets flagged for spam."
So that's the only thing. Like that's kind of like a hit or miss, something we just can't control.
Mm,
Especially with Google, like they're really cracking down on all these
yeah.
laws now. So like it's getting even harder. But now, like I don't send like cold videos anymore. I used to, but like when you work like 30 minutes on a video and then you get that failed email, that bounce back email, like that hurts. Like that's a different kind of hurt. So ever since then, like I don't even send cold emails anymore. Like if they respond and they say they're interested, but they're just not ready to book a meeting, at that point, then I'll send them an email, because they responded, so that email will now go through. So now
Mm,
I'm super confident that they'll actually get the video. But
yeah.
for the most part, I'm sending everything through LinkedIn. Like it's super simple,
Got
no
it. Okay.
no spam bots, and then the thumbnail shows up clear as day in their inbox. So it's
Got
great.
it. Okay. So you're not really going through like the things that we were think of as like traditional video prospecting, where it's like you might record it on Vidyard and then you're just sending it directly to your email. You're just sticking more so to like LinkedIn messages, so that way it gets in front of them easier.
Yep. Hmm.
That's awesome. Courtney asked, and we may have sort of answered this already, but I'm curious, like what your kind of test results may have been if you've done both. But they asked, have you A/B tested with sending Vidyard links versus uploading the video file directly into the message?
So if you don't use the Vidjar link, the thumbnail won't show up. So I believe if you just
Got it.
send, I think if you just send the file, for one, it might be too large to send, and
Mm,
I think that might be more likely to go to spam, versus if you send the Vidjar link, it's just a link, so it's no file embedded at all.
mhm.
Even like with the like a PDF file, I think people are less likely to open an email if they see a PDF file linked to it, and it's more likely to go to spam. So if you
Yeah.
send a Vidjar link, the only thing that goes through is the text that you linked it to. So like the thumbnail will just automatically show up when you drop that thumbnail in there.
Mm,
Because when you go on Vidyard, it's two different options. There's a copy link, like just the normal link,
yeah.
and there's a copy link with thumbnail. If you drop that in an email, then the thumbnail will automatically populate.
Mhm. Courtney, so I haven't really done very much with just like uploading a video file directly into the message when I was doing prospecting. A lot of my prospects weren't really very active on LinkedIn, so that aspect was just never really something that I did. But I will say I got really good open rates using video more as like a follow up. So like if I called them and then they maybe like weren't ready to book or they had more questions or something like that, there were like major objections and they wouldn't book a meeting, I would send them a Vidyard video like with the thumbnail and the link in there. And those got opened a lot, but I have had a similar experience of like just sending cold videos to people and not having things go very well. So I love that you kind of like open up with like asking permission in the beginning of like, hey, is this relevant at all? Like, is it okay if I send this over? Because I think that when people just like receive random videos from people that they don't know, like they're way less likely to click on that thing. Because Lord knows what video they're being sent. Alrighty, so Jonathan asked, in the first 30 seconds, what do you want to mention?
Yeah, so that's typically like when I mention like any relevance. So like if I go on their LinkedIn page and they're pretty active, so we typically go after people who are like hiring new reps or they have like
Mhm,
multiple people on their sales team and they're actively growing. So that's typically like the trigger for us to reach out. So typically like I'll go on the VP or director's page. I see like if they had like a recent hiring. People
mhm,
like always like to shout out their reps or like they say like, hey, we just hired two new reps or whatever. So I literally just screenshot that post and pop it in the video. So that way I can actually show relevance. And then I can tie that relevance piece that I found into the problem that I'm looking to solve and then go into my solution.
mhm.
And then even if like the person isn't like super active, then I'll do a company based. Like if I see like they're growing, they just had change in leadership, then once
Yeah.
again, like I'll screenshot that and then I'll put it in the video. Or even for us, like we help people like increase their quota attainment. So I'll go on RepView and I'll say like, hey, like I saw that you guys have a 50% quota attainment on RepView. Like how accurate is this? We help teams do this.
Mhm.
So it's multiple ways that you can do research. And then Tim definitely made like a great point. Like LinkedIn outreach doesn't translate across like all industries. That's a great point. So I definitely can't sit here and say like video is like powerful for everyone. Just because if you're working in like maybe cybersecurity, like they don't necessarily live on LinkedIn like that, so you're not gonna have the chance to connect with them, have those conversations. And then even when I worked in cybersecurity, I was sending emails and like I might have got 5 responses in my whole
Yeah,
cybersecurity career. Like, they don't respond to emails like that. So the
for sure.
likelihood the likelihood of them opening an email link is very
Mm,
unlikely just because like they're trained not to click on links, like they're cybersecurity, so
yeah.
they're not gonna just click on anything. um so Tim is definitely spot on with that one.
Yeah, definitely. And that is like part of why I did bring up like prospecting into industries, like the experiences that I've had, because I still, even in those instances, I think video can be really powerful. It just needs to be a little bit, of a different approach. Like, I think it can work really well if you've already started a conversation with someone, for instance, and like they know, like, okay, I'm not sending you a virus or anything in this email. I think it can go over a little bit better,
Yeah.
but um,
If you're selling to like if you're selling to B2B SaaS or you're selling to
yeah,
other sellers, marketers, or anybody in the GTM spectrum, like you should be using video like
for sure.
every single day. Especially if you're selling to sellers, like they've seen like every trick in the book. So if you send them like a high quality video that they've never seen before, they're
Yeah.
more likely to book that meeting or to talk to you. And I feel like that's where I had like a lot of success with my videos. Like people see like the high quality, and the first thing they say is like, well, how did you make the video? They don't want to book the
Yeah.
meeting. It's like, how did you make the video? And I feel like that's the biggest objection I've gotten like in the past few weeks. Like, how did you make the video?
Mm,
That's the first thing they
yeah.
want to know because like they've never seen it
You're
before.
like,
It's like,
book a demo and then I'll let you know.
yeah.
Awesome. Alrighty, so we got another question, which is, have you A/B tested with horizontal versus vertical videos for prospecting, and what's been your experience?
Um. So when I first started making video, I was doing vertical.
Hmm.
But it's the only thing with the vertical is like I won't have room for the actual demo piece.
Oh, yeah.
So
True.
like because I want to show like the whole screen of the demo, then I want to make sure I'm on the side. So like it only makes sense to do it horizontally.
Yeah.
But if you're not going to show like a demo at all, you're just going to have maybe like some pop-ups of the demo. You could do it either way. Like sometimes you can do like a vertical video and maybe like have your hand popping up and maybe like a window from the actual platform pops up.
Mm,
But for me, like I actually like to make it engaging and actually build that full experience. So like I have it like horizontal. I'm on the right side. The platform is next to me, and I can point at stuff. I can look to my left, and then you can actually like it looks like I'm in the platform, like I'm live and
mm,
actually in the platform. So I think it just makes it a lot more engaging.
that's awesome. All right, Dia asked, can you drop the name of the video tool you mentioned here? Is it free? So I'll put it in the um, chat, but it's called Canva. They do have a free version as well as a paid version. Tyler had just mentioned that there may be like certain editing features and stuff that are only available if you're on the paid plan, but I think it's like $15 a month for their premium, something like that.
I'm not
So
gonna.
it's pretty affordable. Um, Mason asked, so you record through Canva and send the video through Vidyard.
Mhm.
Okay, awesome. And then let me just, lots of questions in
And
here,
then I
which is
make
super awesome.
And then you can make the thumbnail in Canva too. So if you just have like a thumbnail template that you just want to like pop their face into, that's a
Mm,
quick, easy way just to like
mm,
the thumbnails in the vidyard. So like when
yeah.
you go to the vidyard, you upload the video and then it gives you an option to upload thumbnail. So like when they first click on the link, it'll have like the title,
Oh.
like click
Mm,
here so and then it'll show like the thumbnail with your face and their face on it. So now it looks a lot more engaging, looks a lot more appealing, and they're more likely to click on it.
got it. All right. Courtney said, do you start a conversation with the person prior to asking them if they'll watch a video? Do you just send a message asking if they'll watch cold? It would be easier to scale if you didn't have to be in a conversation first.
Yeah, so that's kind of like where the permission slap comes in.
Mm,
Just because like I found that like back then like I would spend hours doing videos and like I would get no responses, so like it would just be like a waste of time in a sense. So now like I always make sure like I get their permission first, and that's why I said like have that template so that way you can take like at least the next 20-30 minutes no more to make that video and send it to them as soon as possible. So that way like you can ensure that they'll open it.
mm,
But if you take too long, um, yeah, they're probably not gonna open it, or you
for
might just
sure.
have to follow up.
Okay. Beth asked, so are you referring to connection via LinkedIn or email? I think we kind of covered that you're mostly sending through LinkedIn at the moment.
And I only respond. I only send videos via email if they respond, like if they're
Got
interested,
it.
they want to see more. So versus
Okay.
just sending them like a long paragraph or a bunch of documents, I just send them an engaging video so that way they can actually get the full experience and be a lot more interested in it.
Awesome. Okay, so what if they don't reply or say no? Do we still go ahead and send? Can you kind of walk us through those steps again?
So if so typically like I ask them like, do you mind if I share a video? If they say yes, I'll send it. Typically if they say no, I'll just say like thank you for responding. Like at the end of the day, like a response is still a win for SDR. So like if they respond and just say no, just respect the fact that they said no and just move on to the next person. I'm never gonna be like that pushy person and I'm gonna push back. I asked you for permission, you said
Yeah.
no. Just leave it at that.
Mhm. Courtney said, does the permission slap come cold? So all you're doing previously is just sending the connection request, or are these also people who like maybe you've cold called before, like had any conversations with, or it's mostly prospects that you haven't been able to reach yet?
So it's a mix of everything. So like when
Mhm,
I first connect with them, like I send a connection request with no note. And then the most I'll do like that same day, I might say thank you, but typically I'll just include that in the same message. Like I'll say thank you for connecting so and so. Mind if I
mhm,
share a short video on how to do this? So I just kind
got
of put both in one message because like we're being honest, like if they're going my profile, they see I'm the SDR, like they know the pitch is coming, but so it's just a matter of like what are you gonna say in that pitch? Like are you just gonna like just pitch slap them and just send like a long paragraph about how you can help them and go rambling
yeah,
about your company? Um, or are you just going to ask permission first and see if they're actually interested in the actual product or even see if they have that problem at all before you just go assuming?
yeah. Beth said, why no note with your connect? I guess versus like, could you ask for like put the permission slap in a connect? Have you tried that? Have you seen any like different results doing things in different ways?
Yeah, so I don't send notes at all. I used to before, but like I said, I feel like just because as a sales leader or as like just a person like in leadership, like they
Mm,
know they know the pitch is coming. So
Yeah.
like if you send no note, then it's like, okay, like I'm just in your network. I just want to connect. I'm just here. And then you just wait a couple of days, and then you can send your permission slap, or then you
Mm,
can reach out. But I feel like if you just you add the if you put it in the note, then they already know off rip. Like I'm not talking to this person. They're just gonna pitch me
mm,
as soon
yeah.
as I hit it. And then the pitch is literally it's gonna come through as soon as you hit accept. Because when you send a note, it comes through as a message. So now that
Yeah.
message pops up as soon as they hit accept, and it's like you know it's coming. So now I'm not gonna click it because I already know,
Mm,
and I
yeah.
probably respond.
Definitely
And,
makes
and you
sense.
you still want to have even after they say no or after you have those connections. I mean, after you have those yeses, you still want to have that connection. Like you don't just want to
Yeah.
you don't want to just connect with someone and then just pitch them and leave them alone. Like no, you still want to have that connection. Like I
Yeah.
still reach out to prospects to this day, like as friends. Like I had
Hmm.
like a manager reach out to me like yesterday asking me like how I do my videos. Like you still can have those connections even outside of sales.
For sure.
I feel
That's
like
like when I started working at Dooley, that's exactly what happened. One of their BDRs, Ron, I love you if you're watching. Um, he was actually like prospecting like the company that I had worked for at the time. And he had like pitched me Dooley and he was like signing me up as a free user and stuff. And then I was like, actually, you seem pretty cool. Let's be friends. So I love that. It's so fun. Alrighty. So I do want to go over some kind of like do's and don'ts, um, if you can, on like what are, in your opinion, like the worst things that you see people kind of doing with video prospecting that they should definitely stay away from. Let's start there.
I definitely learned this the hard way. So don't send like just any like plain templates that's like the exact same and you're just like spamming it to everyone.
Mm,
That's the first number one do not do not do. And second, like don't send a video if it's not tailored specifically for them. Like even like when it comes to video, like you really just gotta stroke people's egos. So like when you don't say their name or something like
yeah,
that, like that's like a big red flag to them. Like, oh, you didn't say my name. This probably wasn't meant for me. So make sure you say their name, make sure you have some type of relevance, and make sure you show like some kind of research before you just reach out. And of course, like don't just talk about yourself, don't just talk about your company, don't just feature dump,
yeah,
because the truth is like no one really gives a crap about like what your company does. They want to know like how you can solve their problems specifically, and how you can make their day easier.
for
So
sure.
those are probably like the top three don'ts, especially the first one, especially that first one.
Um, okay, so can you give us three like do's, good things that people can focus on that they can like easily control or improve about their videos?
Yeah, so definitely just take the time to personalize. That's definitely gonna be number one. Number two, um, I guess just make sure like your videos are definitely like high quality. Make sure your thumbnails are look engaging. Make sure your video is engaging so they actually watch the full 40 to 50 seconds. And let me emphasize that like 40 to 50 seconds. Like don't make the video any longer than that.
Mm,
Just because you want to keep them engaged throughout the entire video. So 50
yeah,
seconds is pretty much like my cap. And then the third video, like just have fun. Like don't be a robot. Don't download the teleprompter app and just read off the screen. Actually have fun. Be creative. Like put some thought into it, and actually show them like you're a human. Like they want like
mhm,
just want them to hop on a call with you. Like I don't want to hop on a call with a robot. Like I can go do that
for
somewhere
sure.
else. Like go talk to Siri or someone. Like I don't want to do that. So like just have fun. Like be engaging and just
Mm.
see your personality.
Yeah. James asked, is this recorded? Yes, James, this is recorded. If you did register for this event, you'll get the replay in your email sometime tomorrow. Um, Zach asked, I have a really hard time keeping it under a minute. Any tips on how to get your key point across as simply as possible? That is a
Yeah.
great question.
So I think that's where the script writing is so key. So I wouldn't just like hop on Vidyard or hop on Loom and just record off the dome like you're on
Hmm.
a cold call. Like you have to write a script down so that way
Yeah.
like you at least have the framework for it, so you at least know what to talk about. So like I have mine like broken down like in different sections. So like the personalization piece is gonna be like 15 to 20 seconds, and then like the actual like problem might be like 10 seconds, and then like that last demo piece 20 seconds, and then maybe like the last 5 seconds if like the CTA is a bit long. Just because I like my CTA to be like silky smooth. So I never
Mm.
ask for a meeting in the video. Like I always end it
Oh,
like just let me know if you found this interesting, and that's it. Like did you
Mhm.
find it interesting? And that's it. There's a yes or no question.
Love
Like
that.
we can book the meeting after this. Like you don't have to
Mm,
do anything after this. So that's probably the best way. Like just write a script, build your structure, find your flow, and pace yourself. Like actually practice. Like pace yourself. Like pull
yeah.
your phone out, time yourself. If you feel like it's too long, go back to the drawing board, cut some stuff out. Because majority of the time when you do write a script, a lot of it is fluff anyway. So just
Mhm.
take all the fluff out, and then you're good. And then when
Yeah.
you do the editing, when like as far as like the fluff in between like your script, if you have like some pauses, cut those pauses out. That's gonna take at
Yeah.
least a couple seconds out. Um, so literally just make it like back to back, like value, value, value. Like the whole video, keep it engaging, no fluff, no extra words, no extra buzzwords, anything like that, and you'll be good to go. You'll be
Yeah.
45 seconds easily because the
One
extra
thing that
is fluff.
Yeah, for sure. One thing that actually did help me a lot getting the videos shorter was that I didn't realize how much time I actually was pausing, like in between the sentences. But the pauses were like too long in that they were boring to watch, but they were like too short that it was like kind of difficult to like edit them out properly. So what I did start doing, the teleprompter app is an amazing idea. I love that.
Mhm.
I did not know that there was anything like that
Mhm.
when I was recording videos. So I would like look at my script and just try to say like one sentence, like
Mhm.
nice and fast, not too fast, but just like a good pace. And then I would pause for like 5 seconds and then I would say the next one because that made like editing out the little pauses in between like so much easier. And it was a
Yeah.
lot.
I
It,
do
it
I do
went much
something
better.
I do something similar except I break it into clips. So like I'll do
Yeah.
one clip, take a second and breathe, hit record, then do it. So like that way like the entire video has energy. Like
Yeah.
if you do the entire video as one clip, you're gonna be burnt out like 30 seconds into the video. And that
Mhm.
last 20 seconds is gonna be like, it's a little boring because you're getting burnt out here. So I always try to break it up so I have energy throughout the entire call.
For
Um,
sure.
and that way you can take breaks and you can breathe. You don't have to sit there and try to find your breathing and do everything on the actual recording. You can just take your time and do it.
Yeah. And I love that you've mentioned like editing and like filming one clip and then filming another because a lot of the like advice that I've seen about making videos, which I think made it feel a lot more like inaccessible or like scary is that like you have to do it all in one take. Like if you're editing, no one's gonna watch the video. Like it just needs to be like natural and like you didn't even think about it, which was never something that like resonated very much with me because like you, it's like I wanted to send like really nice like high quality videos that looked good, that sounded good, and I think that that advice is like just completely going against like everything that you're doing and that you've been successful doing. So I love that. It's like completely opposite advice of what so many people in sales have said. And I think that is amazing.
Yeah, and I feel like the biggest thing with me, like
Mhm.
I love breaking the rules. I
Yeah.
never like following the sales gurus or
Mhm.
all that other stuff because like at the end of the day, like sales is changing. Like this is not the same sales as it was even last year. So like everything
Yeah,
is changing. Like you have to try new things. Like everyone,
absolutely.
like even now, like everyone is trying to get on video prospecting. So it's like, how can I get past the noise? How can my video be better than everyone else's? And how can I get someone engaged for 50 seconds to where they're not going to say, oh, it's just another video. You know what I'm saying? Like you actually want to get them engaged and interested in it.
For sure. Al asked, what do you think about talking speed? I find it's more engaging to speak quickly, but I worry that it loses clarity.
It's crazy because like if you guys notice, like I talk pretty fast, like even right
Mhm.
now. So what I do is like when I write my scripts, I actually put dashes in it, or like I put in parentheses slow,
Yeah.
because people always tell me the slower you talk, like the better it sounds. Like if you slow it down and like you sound if it feels uncomfortable, they say you're doing it right. But to
Yeah,
me, it never made sense to me. But everyone always says like the slower you talk, like the more uncomfortable it feels, like the better you actually sound.
definitely.
So typically,
I
like
always tried to like um basically like think of it as like I'm a news reporter and I'm recording the broadcast. So it's like, okay, like what speed would I need to talk at so that way like everyone could hear me, like could understand what I'm saying, like make sure that I'm enunciating. Plus it did make recording them like a little bit more fun.
yeah.
um Tim also asked, when is the hands-on masterclass? Walking us through the software. Aren't you doing something tomorrow? How do people sign up for that?
I'm not even completely sure to be honest. um, I can definitely reach out to them. I know like that one is going to be me and Melissa from Deal. We're both going
Oh,
to be going through our
nice.
process. So that one is going to be pretty fun. Pretty much the same thing, like just going through like our process, like what we do to record.
Mhm.
I think it's going to be like more technical based though, like going into like the
Yeah.
actual video editing. So that might be super helpful. If you guys should like
Yeah.
hit up tomorrow.
Do you have a link or can I find that on like your LinkedIn or I just want to put the link in the chat if I can.
I can.
Tim said yes, that's what I need.
I can. My computer is a bit laggy, but I can send it to you after this
Oh
call.
yeah, for sure. I can just go ahead and include it in the recording email.
Okay.
So that way if anyone does want to go, we can just make sure that everyone has that. But awesome.
Since that's what I
Um,
need.
yeah. That is super cool. Zach also said, thank you. Breaking it down into time sections and having a basic ask is interesting and super helpful. James said, thank you. Thanks, Tyler, for the tips. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today. If you have any kind of like last minute questions that you want to pop in the chat, I know Tyler would love to answer them for you. But anything else, if you could leave everyone with like one piece of advice about video prospecting, like what would it be?
I have to say it one more time, like just go have fun, be creative, and just don't let the sales gurus tell you that oh it can't be fun, it can't be creative, it has to be this, it has to be that. Like go find your own flow, like go have fun with it, be creative, and just do what you want. Like go break the rules, go break something, go experiment. I feel like that was the biggest thing I did when I got the Falcon. Like they let me break shit, they let me go experiment, do what I want, and it worked for me. Like that's what worked for me. I broke the rules. I didn't stick to the norms that the sales gurus
Yeah,
planted us on LinkedIn. Just go have fun with it. Like just go be yourself. Like I feel like that's the biggest thing that I had to learn when I got in sales. Like before, like I feel like I had to fake, like I had to be this fake person just to try to fit in. But like now,
yeah,
like I'm being myself. Like just be who you are, and that's all you can do.
for sure. Well, thank you so much, Tyler, for hanging out with us here today and teaching us all about video prospecting. I learned so many new things. So that was super awesome. But if anyone does want to like reach out to you, can they DM you on LinkedIn or like how can they get in touch on
Absolutely,
LinkedIn?
yeah. Mhm.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you again. Thank you, everyone who was watching. If anyone is watching and you're not already part of the RevGenius community, you can totally join us at revgenius.com. We have a giant Slack community and lots of free events just like this one, literally almost every single day of the week. So we would love to see you in there, but we will see you guys next time and later today, actually. Well, me anyway. But all right, bye everyone. Thank you so much, Tyler, again.